Hey guys, how are you guys doing? Give me a second here as I get set up quickly. Put on Do Not Disturb. I'm just gonna get going here in a minute. Okay. Give me a second, guys. Get rid of that. Perfect. Awesome. Everyone, I'm gonna give everyone about 30 seconds, maybe another minute or two to hop in. Also posted this all over StockTwits and Webull, other social media platforms and apps. In case you're not subscribed, subscribe to Spud Zone Official here on YouTube. Just made this about 3 or 4 weeks ago. Already almost had 3K followers. Appreciate all the love and support, guys. Hope you had a great trading day. It's been a crazy week. Seen a ton of momentum. Excited to kind of talk through and run through some of these ticker names today, specifically TRCH, Torchlight, ALF, and VINO. But yeah, going to give everyone another minute or two here to log in. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. As well, if you're interested in the Discord, 16,000 members. We've been around for a long time, extremely consistent. Do feel free to check it out. It's in the bio as well. Okay. Pretty pumped about this session, guys, especially for all the new traders, even experienced traders. I have a little secret trend I found and came to tuition today. I'm willing to share that at the end. I've seen it over the years, but today in the last couple weeks, couple trades I've been making off some of these momentum plays, I've seen a quick 10-20% pickup, and I'm going to talk through what I see and how to identify that going forward for all you guys, especially the folks that like to trade momentum. So I'm just going to wait for about another minute here, 9:05, and we'll get started. Awesome. Looks like everyone can hear and see my screen. Just want to make sure everyone can see. Can you see the screen? Awesome. Okay, great, guys. So going to cover 3 things today. Here's the schedule. Hopefully it'll be about 20-25 minutes of your time. Please feel free to tune in. You could also watch it whenever you want. First thing I'm going to talk about, guys, is daily prep. As you guys know, I was pretty hard on myself yesterday. I had a red day, about 18,000. Came out super strong today. Closed above a little over 54 grand today. Great green day. But I studied for 2 hours. I beat myself up last night, and I was asking why. I made some great alerts and call outs throughout the day. Saw other people banking on some of these plays, and I was just stop lossing out. And it kind of bothered me a little bit. I lost around 6 or 7 out of my 9 or 10 plays yesterday, and so I wanted to come back super strong today. And have a great day. So I woke up early, and this becomes my next point, right? Like, daily prep is so vital, crucial, and important in this game, guys. If you could get a head start on other retail traders, if you get a head start on hedge funds or large index funds, whatever it may be, right? Whatever the momentum stock is for the day, wherever the volume's going, whether you're tuning into Benzinga, CNBC Live, World Markets, CNN, whatever it may be, like, just get your mind thinking, right? Like, get your brain focused on the day. I like to wake up around 7:38 in the morning. I haven't been trading pre-market at all. It's been kind of a little bit slow pre-market. I know about a year ago we had some crazy runners in pre-market. That's when I was up early, but I haven't been waking up too early for that. Have a coffee, have breakfast. Whether you like to work out, go for a walk. Just get the blood flowing, get in the mindset. You don't want to be waking up at 9:30, rolling out of bed saying, "Oh, what should I trade today?" Right? Like, "Oh, should I buy this, sell this?" That's just unorganized. It's just not organized. You want to be organized, plan, process. I like to check scanners when I wake up. I use trade ideas. I use top gainers off different brokerages and functions and apps. It develops then a strategy of my, top 5 to 7 watches for the day on my monitors. So I can get a competitive advantage over everyone else that's also trading, right? And then really it comes down to, like, then when you develop a watch list for yourself, or whether you're using mine as my top watches, whether you're playing off of that, whatever it may be, plan your day. Do you want to make scalps in the morning quickly on the 9:30 dip and then selling the rips 5, 10, 20, 30 minutes later? Are you a dip buyer on the washouts at lunchtime, looking for a quick 5, 10% into power hour? Are you in a swing environment right now where you're using your cash or utilizing your cash to get swings for a multi-day approach? Think about your plan, right? Think about what kind of markets we're in, the volatility now with the Fed and everything today. Like, think about how you want to trade your cash, trade your plan, trade your strategy. So I want to start off with that. That's my little 2-minute rant there on daily prep, because I think it's very important, and a lot of people underestimate those kind of things. Those attributes can really help you become successful in the trading world. Okay, awesome. So now kind of deep diving into, I'm going to cover today tickers TRCH, Torchlight, ALF, and I'm going to cover a tiny bit on VINO, VINO, how to break out today towards the end into close. And I really want to kind of talk through Torchlight here. And so, specifically yesterday, today was a great move, but I really want to focus on yesterday. So I want to pull up the daily chart. I had a plan yesterday when I woke up. I said, this looks like very promising. This ticker's almost testing 52-week highs, which it broke through today and yesterday. But I want to talk through why. So, we saw this 483 all the way back in February. What is that? 4 months ago? 483 was the top, and that is all-time highs for this company. And I know it's a heavily, heavily shorted ticker. I think 20, 30, 40% of the float, somewhere in there. And a lot of this zone here, you can kind of tell, a lot of red candles, a lot of selling pressure. Back in February, there's a lot of long shorts here. And they've been just riding this short down. They probably wanted to get this sub $1, maybe 70 cents. A lot of them probably didn't cover here in April. And here we are today, yesterday, on the 15th, we had a nice couple moves there, 14%, 3%, 17% move coming into the day. We had an explosion of 41% yesterday. But I basically told myself, I'm not going to take a position in this ticker name until it broke 483. Now, you guys might be saying, Spud, you're crazy, because if we look at the 5-minute chart yesterday at 9:30, right? I'm going to go back and I want to show you how crazy of a move this really was. At 9:30, right here at the bell, we saw 15 million shares come through. It dropped 6%. It then dropped another 1%. Actually, even more than that, low of 432, which was a drop from 40. So technically around 12% there. So about 17, 18 million shares right there in the first 10 minutes of open. That was just big red candles. And I'm like, oof, maybe this just gets shorted back sub 4s. Then all of a sudden, I saw some major volume hit. It retested above that candle line. Then it retested and broke this huge plane, which consolidated all pre-market. So that was all the way up to about 5 a.m. That was that candle then tested that. So I said, okay, maybe this has some strength. It broke the 483 plane, and that is when I had this thing on the top monitor, because I said, this could be a potential breakout play. This is 483. It's all-time highs for the company name, guys. If you think about it, if you're a short and you're at all-time highs in the company, there is no short that is up right now in the green. Every single short is in the red right now if you are at all-time highs. If you are breaking all-time highs, to me, that's a great trade I like to make, because, one, it's showing ultra bullish breakout pattern. If you're breaking all-time company highs, to me, that's a no-brainer to say, this could gap up even more, right? Think about it. Any shorts, any selling pressure, that you could put that behind. You could put that behind because that there's a great possibility that this is going to go even further. And so what happened was, when I saw this break the where are we here? The 483 plane here, which is the high is 488 on this candle, I said, okay, I think this thing may run more. So I alerted a buy right in here at the 470 dip. I said 470 dip, it broke all-time highs. Maybe we see more later. All of a sudden, off that profit-taking dip, 4 million shares, we now start to see a rip. And this is when we saw the fives break here. That was a quick 8% off the alert. And then another 2%. That's a 10% move within 15 minutes. That's when I said, okay, guys, this thing could be a breakout today. It then started to sell off a little bit, as expected, profit-taking, right back down to the 5, sort of 75 realm. Then we got a big green bar here, back to the 5s. Consolidated for a bit. I actually personally thought, this might gap back down to the 450s. And, I sold out in here. I was a little wimp. I wanted to take my profits. It was about 10% play into 512. It is a heavy ticker. It's 100 million plus float shares available. So it doesn't move as quickly as some of these low float micro cap penny stocks that we've been seeing some potential crazy breakouts on. So I wanted to lock profits in this area, and which I did right on this candle going up. It then consolidated and it broke craziness around lunchtime. I mean, this thing went up another 15-20% here. And if you caught the dip, guys, that's almost a 25% move within a 3-hour time period. I mean, that's a big percentage move on this kind of stock, right? And we saw later in the day, I thought it might be it at 6s. But then we saw later in the day, we saw some major washouts here. I mean, this was a crazy washout. 7% move, tried a little cap bounce for the 5-minute line, and then boom, another major washout. Another almost 7 million shares came through here for another 7%. And then it kind of just broke downwards throughout the rest of the day and into after hours. My point is here, though, this is where this specific secret trend I'm going to give you guys as I start to talk through ALF and VINO. Lately, I don't know if you guys have noticed, and maybe it's just me or maybe it's just how I'm trading, but have you guys noticed what's happening in after hours on some of these 40, 50, 100% gappers? Like, they're going down 5, 8, 9, 10, 12, 15% rather quickly. And I'm talking about stocks that are trading like 200, 250 million shares a day in a specific range. I mean, Torch traded like 270 million shares all in this zone here. So then we see like a dump all the way down below this candle almost. And I'm like, that's like 470. That's like the best entry you can get. So, you have some smart people trying to bid down here. And all of a sudden in after hours, we saw it today on VINO. I alerted it. I saw it yesterday on ALF. I alerted it. And here's this like secret little tip I'm going to give you guys. I've seen these after hours go right to green, down 10, 15%, go right to green. And that is, if you think about it, that's a 10 to 20% move depending on where you add it. Here we are again, Torchlight after hours, 16, right around 5 o'clock. We see this start to rip higher, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7%, closes up top, another, and then here we are into close. Where is it? Here we are into close, like right around here, and we saw a major rip. So, these after-hour plays, if something's trading on hundreds of millions of volume and it's dropping 10, 15% quickly after hours, why not add right there? Maybe have a 5% mental stop loss on that name, on any of these names that are, because if the majority of, 50, 100 million shares plus are trading in this range all day long, and you could get a dip under this, why would you not want to take advantage of that, right? On like a lower volume sell-off. I'm not saying, bid the house here, but I'm saying, why not try a small starter here? Maybe sell a rip here, sell half, maybe sell another quarter here, hold the other half for here. You know what I mean? So there's plenty of opportunity on these names, right? This is now at 76.76 is now the, I don't know too much about the fundamental analysis on here. I know a lot of people are talking about the special dividend, something going on here with that. I mean, but this has had a crazy run in the past year or so. I would be surprised if this continues to go. I would think maybe it's got a cap of around $8 to $10. Momentum is very strong for this name though, so I would not be surprised if you see $8 to $10 here. Tomorrow, in this zone on the low of about 550, 540-ish. Anything in that zone, you could see new highs to 7, 8, 9, 10s. As I mentioned, I think I'm going to be, I would be bearish if it breaks that 520 plane. You probably see 470s again. But anything above this 540, 550 here with those green bars, I think you might see new highs even again. So do be patient on that name. I know a lot of people are swinging that name off the 4s, 3s. I know some people are in the 1s, sub 1s. As we've seen some of these penny stocks go to 8, 12, 15, $20 a share. So do play it smart. Obviously don't be greedy, as I preach all the time. But yeah, so that's that name. Any questions, please put in the chat or my Discord main chat room, or just DM me later on this name. Happy to answer before I go to bed or anything like that. And I'm excited to talk about this next ticker, ALF. I know a lot of us played it today. And so I wanted to kind of walk through this one. This is a recent IPO. I'm going to quickly pull up the daily chart. I mean, this had an IPO here around 560, dumped off all the way down to a low of 241. Wow. But majority of the buying and selling was here in the threes, low to mid threes. And then we just saw some major rip ups here. I had a breakout yesterday. Look how many shares broke out. It was 193 million shares for 104%. That's a lot of volume, guys. It's not only day traders, right? That's also funds involved as well. So when I woke up this morning, I literally alerted the team at 8:45 or 9 a.m. And I said, guys, my plan on tickers TRCH and ALF is to buy the dip. I want a nice washout after the bell. I want a nice, beautiful washout after the bell. And I want to get some size. I want to buy some bell if there is one. Torch, I didn't touch today because guess what? I didn't get my washout. I wanted my freaking washout. I wanted a nice washout, sub fives, and I didn't get it. I thought it would ever consolidate. And so that was extremely bullish action today. I mean, I had a great day. 1670%. It went high of almost 30%. ALF, on the other hand, was down 15% in pre-market. So I said, I might get a nice washout in this name. So if we look at the 5-minute chart here, guys, of this morning, I'm going to go play by play. This was the best alert, maybe on the day, other than ORPH, if you guys hit that one. I was a little late to the game on that one. I know we swung that off the 9-11, off the 9 to 12s, as well as a 17 as a starter. All in profit zones today, but that was a crazy move. But other than that, we had the second best play in all of Wall Street here. This was a 50% plus play at peak. I'm going to walk through this play here today. So, I mean, we saw a major dump. It was in the sevens, right? 770 it closed last night. I mean, that was... For example, actually, I'm going to start yesterday afternoon. We're going to close, right? We close at 16. And so here's the big point I want to make on this name. So I want to walk through this because this is also another name that broke all-time highs. Same trend, right? Stock that breaks all-time highs, what do? We play the bullish side of it. There's always a 10 to 20% upside, in my experience, playing those new all-time high names. This consolidated all day yesterday in this range. Look, all in this range, basically from 510 all the way up to 626, right? And so what we saw was about 193 million shares in this range. And then out of nowhere, I alerted this thing right here. I said, take an entry, 530, 540. I think we might get some shorts covering into close. Look for a 10% gain. Literally word for word alert. We see a nice bar here, 6.6%, 6.6. I actually got out, I think I got out at 570 maybe. 560, 570. I didn't have too much size, about 25,000 shares. I sold way too soon, clearly. And then this thing kept ripping. And then this is when I said, whoa. This green bar right here, 11% bar, 5 million shares. Now I know every single short on intraday who shorted in here is now what I call underwater. Basically underwater, meaning the red. Every short is red because this is all-time highs, right? Companies at all-time highs. Anything in this zone was shortable. Great. If someone shorted here, great. Shorted here with size, okay. Maybe they shorted here with size. Maybe they shorted here with size. They're now in the red on that candle. We then see another small candle into, this is right into close. So now shorts are like on their last breath, like, oh God, like we gap up tomorrow, right? So what we saw was a little dip here. We saw a dip down to 643. Say in the after hours, I said, I'm going to look for a dip here. So I alerted a dip at, I think, 660 I got filled. 20,000 shares or 25,000 shares right in here at 660, 672 maybe it was. I don't remember. I think it was 670, 660, whatever it was. And that was down about 5% at the time. This candle doesn't really show that. It was down 5% in after hours. But I knew, guys, that shorts are still in the red. Every single short on the full intraday from 9:30 to 4 p.m. is in the red still. So I said, okay, some shorts are going to probably start covering on that little dump because they want to even money, minimum, or they're going to cover a small loss. Then this candle ripped up 10%, which is equivalent to about 15 to 17% move from where we bought it -5, right? This thing went all the way to 741. I sold my 20,000 shares 10 minutes later at 7:30 to 7:40 range. Then it, it consolidates, it drops down a bit more. It holds this support line, around 6:40, 6:50. Then it rips up into 8 p.m. all the way to new highs, 7:70, right? So I said, wow, this ticker is going to be a top watch tomorrow morning because of how strong the action was today, right? Up, new supports, higher lows, higher highs, right? Right here, support again. But then I saw pre-market today. Action was a little bit stuffy and it was a little blurry here. So what happened was today I saw it down 12, 15, 14% here. And I said on the day trade alerts, guys, I said, guys, watch for a washout. Let's load this dip, and I think this could rip to green. I literally said that word for word. I said dip idea. And so what I did was at 9:30, I actually did not catch that dip down to 565. I was watching it like a hawk. I did not pull trigger. I was actually wanted even lower. I was being greedy. I wanted lower. I wanted around 535, 540. I was going to add around 50,000 shares, maybe 100,000 shares in there, and I was going to accumulate in that zone, but I didn't. What happened was I saw a major rip right away off the bat for 6 to 8% here, and it hit 644. So that's when I was like, oh wow, like did it start running without me? Like, how do I get in now? This thing looks strong. Everyone's buying already. So then I saw it come back down to 592. Actually, this bottom wick was all the way down to like 590, I think it was. And so I actually bought 592 right there. That's funny. I was literally the support right here. I loaded about 25, 30,000 shares right in here at 92. I alerted the dip buy right here. Then we started to see the rip 5, 10, 15 minutes later. People weren't patient though. Literally, after this dip, people were saying like I even saw people in the chat like they weren't confident in this trade plan or this trade setup. I was very confident in this setup because I knew that shorts were still underwater in the 6/7s. So all of a sudden I knew volume started to hit, right? We see get a 10% move here. I sold right at the top of that lick. I sold 658. That is exactly where I wanted to sell, which I got my fill immediately. This thing then all of a sudden halts up right in this zone. It halts up, hits 860. I mean, that, guys, you do the math. 590, 860. I don't even know what kind of move. That's almost a 50% move, 40% plus. Within 5, 10, 15, 20, 30 minutes, 40, 50%, 30 minutes. You cannot get those type of gains anywhere in the marketplace, anywhere. I mean, what a breakout we saw, guys. A huge breakout. Anyone who wasn't selling in this area, pure greed, pure greed. I took my profits there. Then it consolidated all day long. I then took a re-entry, scalp number 3 on this ticker name in 2 days. I took a re-entry at 710. I rode it to 240 and I stop lossed out at 235 here when it started to dump and break this cusp. And then it sort of just flattened out all day. Fed stuff didn't help. It's still a top ticker watch. It's a recent IPO. It's still getting traction. This will still be a top watch tomorrow, maybe right in this zone, guys. 580, 590 is where I'd like to reload a dip for maybe another 6 plus move. Or maybe, who knows, it might rip 7/8 tomorrow. Maybe 9s. Maybe it breaks 863. But that's where the resistance is here. And the special trend I was talking about, guys, was that after hour trend. It didn't happen today because it wasn't a breakthrough momentum day. Like, as you saw, right, this broke through as I talked about. The shorts were stuck. That is why I played the after hour move. Same thing with Torchlight. That is why I played the after hour move. And then VINO again today. What pattern does VINO look like? Please tell me, guys. I don't know I know nothing about this ticker. I'll be completely blatantly honest. I know nothing about VINO. I just saw it hit my scanner. Tons of volumes hitting. Had a resistance here at 575. Double tapped, big short, took it down here, profit taking. Another big short took it down here. And then shorts got freaking squeezed out of their minds to new highs. And this again, what pattern does this show? This is the same pattern as all flying into close. The exact same time frame, guys. This is 3:30 p.m. Eastern, right through. We ripped to new highs, blew out all shorts and consolidation in here. And then what I said was, okay, now that I know shorts are fully underwater, this didn't have much volume though. 165,000, 900, a million. Okay, cool. Maybe that's starting to perk up. Now we see 2 million there, another 2.5 there, 2 plus, and about another 2. That's about 6 to 7 million shares there, right? all in this zone, 6:30 to basically 9. We saw about 7 million shares go through. So then after hours, what happened was this thing started dumping. And I was waiting. I was literally sitting at my monitor waiting. I said, dump. Give me a dump. Give me a nice position. I went right in on this bottom lick. See this little candle here? I went right in on that bottom lick. Give me like a 670 maybe. So all of a sudden we get see boom, boom, boom. This starts to dump. I alert right here. I alert the dip buy around 678, 690 zones. I said, watch. We could get 7 pluses again. We could see 7. All of a sudden, we see major rips. 690 all the way into. I think this hit 810. This hit 810. That was like a 15-20% move there, right? 690, 810. That's like a 13% move. I sold right in the top of this candle, 780. I sold everything out, about 20,000 shares. Nice volume off the right after close. But once again, what trend did you see here into after hours? We had a minus. It didn't close well, give or take. This had a terrible close here after hours. I will say a terrible close. But the trend is still intact, right? It dumped 15-17% and went green. And then, everyone's like, all right, no news. I think maybe it just kind of was a slow fader. Volume started to die out. Volume started to die out a little bit and just kind of faded off. It'll be a top watch for me tomorrow, maybe a secondary watch. There was no news on this name. I don't know if this was a pump and dump. It kind of looks like one. But if it holds above this candle trend line, which is a low of 6, if it holds above 6, maybe we see 7/8 again. There's just so many other momentum plays to play with strong news and more volume. But, as I said, that trend line, as we saw in after hours, look for those plays, guys. If a stock breaks out huge into close and shorts are 10, 20, 30% underwater, like you ride the dip and sell the rips because shorts want to get out of their positions. They don't want to hold overnight. HTB on big size is too much. It's too much to hold and risk for a short overnight. They want to close out those positions, and they can close them out in after hours by still paying the same cost on those borrowed shares. I've shorted a ton before, so I know how it works. I would hate to hold short overnight. I try to rarely hold short overnight. It's just with my size, it costs too much most of the time, thousands of dollars, and then it also is extremely risky, right? Something could explode another 20, 30, 40, 50% gap up again tomorrow. I hope these lessons are helping, especially the candlestick pieces, components. As many know, my indicators I use, I didn't have them on, but I use, Bollinger Bands, MACD, VWAP, and really just volume. I love to use candlesticks. I really use monitors on the 3, 5, and 15-minute charts. And then I use the daily charts to look at, where's past moves, where did stocks break down, where do I want to sell, right? If I enter a stock, guys, if I enter any ticker, before I enter, guys, I'm going to know where I want to sell, where I want to stop loss, where the move's going to potentially go to, and maybe stop or peak at. I know all those things before I enter the ticker. I don't just say, I'm going to buy this and close my eyes and, it's going to hit this, right? No, everything is drawn out to a T. I have a plan for every trade I make, 90% of the time. Sometimes I may not have a plan, like if there's something just going parabolic, like ORPH, and you're just like, holy shit, how do I get the first entry in here? Then I'll just take a play and, kind of hope that I could get my 10, 15% and get out because everything's just going parabolic with volume. That's a rare scenario. But yeah, guys, I really hope these lessons are helpful. I know I've put about 3 or 4 other ones. If you haven't watched the 3 or 4 other ones over the last month, I highly suggest it. It's in-depth analysis, other type of candlesticks and breakouts. And then I also suggest if you guys are, one of my 50,000 plus followers tuning in right now from Webull, I know I just alerted that on Webull to come watch this session. I highly suggest checking out the Discord. We have 16,000 members, a ton of awesome, knowledgeable people that talk markets, literally 20 aspects of the world. So I highly suggest you get in there. The Discord link is in my bio as well on the YouTube channel. But I'm going to continue doing these free sessions, guys, because I think they're really helpful. I know for new traders, I get hundreds of feedback, hundreds of positive feedback statements. So, hopefully these things are helpful. I highly suggest you don't pay for any of those crazy $2,000, $5,000 courses out there. There's so much great information out there on the web. I'm going to continue giving out great information. I love to learn through you guys, and I love to continue to learn as myself. So, let's continue to trade well. Let's take advantage of, the crazy times we're in. There's a ton of liquidity right now in the markets, which is, one of the higher liquidity times I've seen in a while. So, let's take advantage of that. Let's trade smart and, let's continue, trading our plans and crushing it, guys. But please put all feedback in the comments. I'll try and answer every question I can, as well as the Discord session. Was this helpful, not helpful? What would you like to see more of? I really try and break it down in terms of really simplistic for all the new traders out there. I don't want to overcomplicate things, guys, because trading doesn't need to be complicated. It really doesn't need to be complicated. It's actually very simple. From charts, breakouts, trends, etc. Right? So I don't want to complicate things, but yeah, really looking forward to the next session. Have a great night, guys. Excited to finish out the week tomorrow and Friday. As you can tell, I'm already basically losing my voice here, so I'm going to grab some water. I'm going to shut down. I'll tune into Discord and YouTube for the next, 10 or 20 minutes or so and answer some questions. But hopefully you guys enjoyed the session, and cheers. Have a